and loads of people talking about testosterone replacement therapy. So I'm going to talk about testosterone. So I'll share some insights in terms of like what you can do naturally to help boost it. Certain signs and symptoms we're going to look out for to see if you've got low testosterone. If you're suffering with low testosterone, what you can do in a lifestyle level to improve it. And you ladies will benefit from this as well. It involves fat loss. If you can increase this yourselves, men or women, you're going to increase your results. You can definitely boost your natural testosterone. There's also therapies you can use or herbs, yeah? You don't need to go on testosterone replacement therapy straight away as your first protocol. Right, I'm back and I'm here to talk about something that all those guys love to talk about, but no one speaks up about, and it's a growing problem that a lot of guys are facing. And you ladies will benefit from this as well because, well, it involves fat loss. And if you can increase this yourselves, men or women, you're going to increase your results. Not just muscle building, but also fat loss. But I don't know about you guys, but my feed at the minute is going mad on TRT. Yeah, I get loads of ads and loads of people talking about testosterone replacement therapy. So I'm going to talk about testosterone. And I will say about this is that you don't need to go on testosterone replacement therapy straight away as your first protocol. It's not the answer at all. You can definitely boost your natural testosterone just by changing your lifestyle massively. And there's also therapies you can use or herbs. Yeah, I mean, I'm pushing late 30s now. My testosterone's through the roof. Do you know what I mean? But I've had my spells where I've felt the difference in my testosterone levels. So I'll share some insights in terms of like what you can do naturally to help boost it. If you're suffering with low testosterone, what you can do in a lifestyle level to improve it. And certain signs and symptoms we're going to look out for to see if you've got low testosterone. But what I will say is, I was speaking to a female friend of mine today, and she was telling me like, when people need help, girls are the first, they'll speak out on it, but guys don't speak. So if you're a guy and you've got low testosterone, don't just sit there in silence, man. Like, speak up, ask for help. Do you know what I mean? Who wants to suffer with low testosterone? I certainly wouldn't want to. And if I can help it, I'd want to do it naturally, boost it naturally, and yeah, live healthy from it. Do you know what I mean? Like, healthy sex drive is what we all want, you know? Gain muscle is what we all want. Look good is what we all want. Sorry, I'm hearing the wildlife behind me, man, and it's got to stay on the toes, haven't you? Anyway, I'm back drinking my herbal brew and my Sheila Jit, making sure my testosterone levels are high. Anyway, on that note, certain signs you can look out for if you've got low testosterone levels. You've got a low mood, low energy levels. I mean, on a feeling level, there's some of the main ones, realistically, but in terms of signs and symptoms of what you'll look out for, in terms of like, if you can tell someone's got low testosterone, one is if you've got man boobs. So if you've got moobs, yeah, I think like you've got a lot of body fat around your chest area and it's sagging, you've got a lot of fat there, guarantee your testosterone levels are low and your estrogen levels are high. And the estrogen is like the female dominant hormone, yeah? It's the one that makes you store more fat. And the more fat you have, the more you produce estrogen. And obviously the leaner you are, the more testosterone you'll produce, or the potential you've got of producing more testosterone. So the ideal situation is you want to remain lean as possible so that you can produce more testosterone. Another symptom of if you've produced a lot of estrogen and you've got low testosterone is if you're a guy or a female and you carry a lot of body fat around your legs. So that's it. The female hormone estrogen causes you to store more fat around your lower body, on your hips, your glutes, your legs. So that's a telltale sign as well, just like moves as well. If you're female and you carry a lot of body fat around your arms, like your triceps, you tend to call them the bingo wings, that's another telltale sign. You're producing a lot of estrogen. So that's one thing. on top of everything else. So what can you do naturally to boost testosterone? Well, firstly, I've got another one that I just remembered, and it's probably the most important ones that relate to your sex drive. If you've got low sex drive, that's obviously a telltale sign that you've got low testosterone. The thing is with that as well is, if you've got a low sex drive, then likely chances are you're going to get the symptoms of like having erectile dysfunction or pre-ejaculation, and you struggle to keep it erect. Now there's things you can do diet-wise and lifestyle-wise that can massively affect that. But the thing is, like, if you've got poor health and you're also seeing them symptoms, erection problems are one of the main indicators that there's an underlying health issue that's developing. And so if you have got these symptoms, it might not just be that you've got low testosterone, you may also have something occurring underneath that you need to get looked at, like prostate cancer could be forming or something like that. So you definitely want to be looking into this and not ignoring it and just seeing it as, oh, my things ain't working too great. You definitely want to get yourself checked out, and a good place to do that to start is get your bloods done, check your testosterone levels. If they're low, then you need to address that. But if they're low and or they're not, or the normal ranges and there's something else going on, then again, you know, don't ignore the signs, lads. Speak up on it. There's enough mental health advertisements out there that are telling people to get yourself, you know, speak out. Don't just suffer in silence, because those guys are good at doing that. And I'll be honest, man, you know, I've been through my own issues in life where, as a guy, man, you just want to tough it out. Do you know what I mean? No one wants to talk. You just crack on, innit? It's how life is. But like these sort of things, if something happened to me and my things weren't working, I'd be researching and I'd be speaking out. So I'm just saying, innit? Like, make sure you look after yourself. Anyway, in terms of how we can improve it, what are the things that you're going to do to improve your testosterone levels? Well, there's a few things that are going on that you can address as well, and you can sort of look at to see if you can improve your testosterone. If you've got a big belly, you're bloated, or you've got a lot of body fat, chances are, in fact, it's going to be obvious, you're going to have an insulin sensitivity problem. You're going to be very insulin resistant, meaning that you produce a lot of insulin, or too much insulin, when you're consuming carbohydrates and your blood sugar levels are elevated. So your body's overcompensating by producing too much. Now this can have an adverse effect on your testosterone levels, so it will cause them to plummet. So, for example, if you want to try and get in great shape, if you want to improve your testosterone levels, if you want to build more muscle, you need to lower your body fat percentage, and you want to be able to see hardened abs. If you're building muscle and you're in a muscle building phase, you want to always make sure you can see some sort of hardened abs. So whether you're bulking to a degree, try to go through a cutting and a building phase, cutting and building phase, cutting and building, where you can always generally see some abs. And the reason is because you're going to remain very, very insulin sensitive. So that's an indicator of your insulin, how sensitive you are to insulin. All right, now that correlates with testosterone levels, because if you're carrying too much body fat, then you're going to be overproducing insulin, and so you're going to be insulin resistant. And this has got a massive close relationship with testosterone production and growth hormone production. All right, so we want to make sure that we're keeping ourselves relatively lean or lean. Yeah, I mean, you look bigger and better when you're leaner anyway, so it's just a little tip. So with that, first and foremost, get the body fat levels nice and low, man. Yeah, that's the one thing you want to do. So in terms of like quick things you can do to improve your testosterone levels, this is on a day-to-day. Get good sleep. Now, I'll be honest, I'll hold my hand up, I'm not the best at sleeping. I can touch the cushion and I'll be out within 30 seconds. But getting enough hours can be the challenge. So that's one thing you want to look to do. You want to try and get 8 hours is the perfect number of hours of sleep you want to get most nights. And it has some of the biggest effects on improving testosterone production, because when you're sleeping, you're getting good hours, especially if you get into bed before 10. That circadian rhythm plays a big role in your ability to produce testosterone and release growth hormone, which is obviously going to impact the levels throughout. Another thing is vitamin D. getting plenty of sun exposure, because vitamin D is one of the main components of producing testosterone. It's a hormone itself. It's not actually like a mineral that you absorb. It's a hormone, and it helps to produce all the rest of the hormones, especially testosterone. So getting adequate sun exposure and also getting plenty of sleep, them two things alone are going to have a good effect on your testosterone levels. Now the thing is, I'm from the UK, I live in England, and these pricks over here spraying the skies left, right and centre. So, and they've just released information now that's proven that they've been spraying the skies. That's why I put on my stories. And they're blocking out the sun, or they're trying to block out the sun. There's new incentives to try and block it out. So listen, it's one of them things you got to fight, but it's one of them. So maybe when the sun's not out, or when we're not in summer season, supplement with some vitamin D. I'm not a massive fan of it, but there's things like that are going to help. If you get good quality organic mushrooms as well, they contain a bit of vitamin D. You can also have next herbs such as sea moss, good quality sea moss. You can also get some vitamin D from that. Anyway, I'm going to go into herbs and stuff like that in a minute. I've got really good protocol that I tend to follow, but I'm going to go into the things you can do on a day-to-day first and foremost. After you get in adequate levels of sleep, adequate levels of sun exposure, the next thing you want to look at doing is obviously exercising. Like if you're not weight training, I'm not talking about going outside and running. Like, you're going to break too much muscle down doing that too often anyway, and you want to look like you're skinny and scrawny. That's not to say don't go and do cardio, because cardio is important to keeping good healthy blood levels. Good cardiovascular is going to keep you fit. It's going to help blood pump. It's going to help you make sure you've got a healthier vascular system, which also affects your ability to perform in the bedroom and to maintain a strong erection as well. So don't neglect the cardio. If you're in muscle building phases and you're trying to build muscle, then you want to obviously regulate the amount of cardio you're doing or you're not doing, and cycle that in later on. You know, it's another topic, but it's important. But the main thing you want to be doing is weight training, and you want to be lifting heavy weights. I mean, lifting for the sake of lifting. Make sure you're doing a good training regime, and you're doing that, several times a week, keeping the frequency high. I say high as in 3-4 times a week is a good moderate number to go off. I mean, there's different cycles you can go on where you're on and off, longer rest periods, but I mean, it depends on how hard you train. If you train really hard, which I mean a lot of people don't do, then you can have more rest. It's interesting because we live in modern times now, and I remember watching an episode of London Real. It must have been about 2020, it might have been 2021, with Dan Penner. Now, I don't know if you know Dan Penner, but he's like a famous multi-millionaire, billionaire. He's like a mentor coach for high wealth and high net worth individuals. And he mentioned on that London Real that the testosterone levels in men and young lads these days are so low now compared to how they used to be like 40, 50, 60 years ago, and they're significantly plummeting.
In 1986, the average man's handshake pressure was 118 pounds. 30-year-old man. I forgot to put the age. 118 pounds. 2016, 96 pounds. A woman, 1986, was 105 pounds. Today, 110 pounds. 110 pounds. Testosterone levels in sperm counts tested 50 years ago, and today they're producing 60 to 70% the amount of testosterone levels in sperm counts as they did. We're dying out.
I mean, you look around today, we've got people who are confused what gender they are. It's pretty simple. You look down and you know who you are, don't you? But the thing is, a lot of that is attributed towards, which I will say is the plummeting testosterone levels, and that's because of the state of the food that we're consuming. The soils are depleted for minerals. We don't get enough sun exposure. A lot of us are spending time indoors instead of outdoors now. Kids have got iPads and computers. They just don't go outside like they used to. At the same time, we live in a society now where competition is not really promoted as often, and equality is all sunshine and rainbows and everyone's friends. Like, it's important to get into competitive environments. That's another way of improving testosterone levels. Men being around other men and being competitive is literally, you can walk into a room full of men, right, in a competitive environment, and your testosterone levels will just increase just by doing that. And that just shows you the psychology behind the natural instincts of men being around men, and how that affects your hormones. So it's getting a little bit nippy out here now. I'm getting a lack of sun. So that just says another thing about that. What else are we going to go into? Other ways you can improve testosterone. So we've got weight training. Obviously your nutrition is going to have a massive impact on that. So you're eating good food, making sure that you're building muscle. So you increasing your muscle is obviously going to equate to you having more testosterone production. Now the thing is with this is that you need to eat a healthy balanced diet, rich in carbohydrates, to help build and fuel muscles so that you can weight train to accrue more muscles. Getting adequate sleep on top of that's going to also help, sleeping at the right times. And then we're going into other things such as competitive sports, like I just mentioned, being in competitive environments. If you're doing like combat sports, that's a great way of improving testosterone. You know, you're being around competitive situations, and there's nothing more primal than combat sports. So that's another one. If you're not doing that, guys, I would highly encourage it. It's something I've done for years. In fact, I've done it all my life. Since I was 7, I've been involved in martial arts like karate, and then as I've got older, got into boxing. Thai boxing, various martial arts, and it's just a part of me. It's what I do. You know, I don't love it, but you can just feel a difference. You know what I mean? Anyway, outside that, we're going into deficiencies. We're going into minerals and how these foods and stuff that affect us. So what you're going to be looking at in terms of like minerals and things that can help improve testosterone. So there's a little bird over there digging in the corner in the. I'm looking for some twigs to build a nest. But food you're gonna look at, or minerals, for one, like magnesium's a big one. Magnesium affects your hormonal regulation, and a lot of people are deficient in magnesium. So you want to make sure you're getting adequate levels of magnesium. Now magnesium is important for muscular relaxation, muscular contractions, your vascular system and blood flow. So if you're not getting adequate levels of magnesium, you're going to suffer with erections. Your erection problems are going to occur, and you being able to maintain and hold an erection is going to affect you as well. So like, you can get magnesium by supplementing it. You can get it from certain foods. Moringa leaf is a really good herb you can use and get, that's full of magnesium. Is one that I would recommend. If you can get hold of it, you can get the powder and stuff like that if you can't get the actual like natural leaf. So I know it's really rich in it, and it's also rich in calcium as well. So yeah, magnesium's a big one. What else? Nitric oxide is important as well for maintaining erections and for holding erections for a long period of time, because it helps improve blood flow as well. So I mean, one of the best foods you can consume is beetroot for that. You know, I've been eating quite a lot of beetroot myself recently. If you can't get fresh beetroot, I'd highly recommend you try and get organic beetroot. If you can't get fresh beetroot, or you're so lazy and you can't be asked cooking or chopping it up, then get beetroot powder. Now obviously, food is always the best source, and especially eating fresh foods. Like, you don't need eating processed foods. That's also going to reduce your testosterone levels, so try and avoid that the best you can. Always try and get fresh. If you can't, powder will do. It's sufficient, it works. Now we're going into more foods such as ginger. Not a lot of people know about this, but ginger is really great for fat loss, which again is going to help regulate your insulin sensitivity. But at the same time, ginger also boosts testosterone. So get ginger in your system. I put it in my tea. I've got ginger in here, and I've got shilajit in here. Shilajit's another natural herb, or if you will, it's a resin. That is like, basically it's like plant matter. A lot of people are talking about it now, and I've been using this again for years. Really great at regulating your hormones. It's an adaptogen. So what it does is it helps, if you will, it's like a car going for an MOT. You're checking the levels and it helps to balance the levels out. So it makes sure your hormonal regulation is optimal. And if you're deficient in anything, it helps to boost your natural production of them specific hormones as well. And if you're overproducing something, it tends to help to balance it out in a more of a normal range. Ashwagandha is another great one. Ashwagandha helps to regulate hormonal levels just like Shilajit does, but in a different way. So I definitely look at that as well. These are great as well for like libido and sex drive, especially Shilajit. Shilajit's like a natural aphrodisiac, so it helps with like erection function, blood flow, helps to produce more hemoglobin, so obviously you get that stamina effect as well. So like, it's a little bit of a wonder herb when it comes to sexual performance, sex drive, and obviously natural testosterone levels. What else have we got in there? Other minerals. Zinc is obviously an important one that you want to be adding into your diet. Again, I'll always recommend foods first before supplements, but then obviously you can supplement with foods if you want to. Listen, I'm an holistic coach. I'm all about the natural sort of side of things, and I believe you can fix a lot of stuff naturally with foods, good lifestyles, and herbs as well. So if in terms of foods, what are high in zinc, one of the best ones that I would recommend are walnuts and Brazil nuts. Amazing for zinc. I mean, you can hit your daily zinc needs from having like, I think it's between a safe number is 6 Brazil nuts, but I think you can get it from like just having 4 Brazil nuts a day up to 8. Now you don't want to have too many Brazil nuts because you'll end up having going to the toilet quite a bit, let's put it that way, for lack of a better way of saying it. But walnuts are also a great source of natural zinc. Now most men are deficient in zinc, and when it comes to producing sperm, the sperm tail, so if you're suffering with like getting your babe pregnant and you're trying to have kids, the sperm count plays a massive role in that, and the tail on the sperm is purely made up of zinc. So adequate levels of zinc are going to improve your sperm count, and are also going to help you have more stronger swimmers as well. So that's something to take into consideration. As I say, if you struggle, just supplement with zinc as well. But don't be lazy, get the food in, man. That's where the magic's at. I think pumpkin seeds are also great for zinc as well. So you can have a few of them, why not? They also help kill parasites. Parasites leach magnesium, so if you've got a parasite issue, if you've got a big gut, like you probably got parasites, let's put it right. So look at that, magnesium is leached by parasites. Again, it can relate to erection functions and stuff like that. Now the thing is, again, with these erection functions, I've got to mention it, a lot of guys are suffering with it, and it's not guys like my age or in your 30s. I know a lot of young lads that are struggling with it as well. Like literally, I've had young lads talk to me on a level and express that they're struggling downstairs. Now again, I'm going to attribute that to the plummeting testosterone levels that are out there. There's something going on, man. The water's not clean, I'm telling you. Don't drink tap water. It's full of nastiness. Anyway, what else can we do? What else have we got in there? So we've got beetroot, improves nitric oxide. If you want to improve sexual performance, you want to improve erection quality, pre-sex, watermelon is full of citrulline. That's great for blood flow. It helps to improve erections, helps to maintain erections. Excuse me. We've also got Shilajit, that does that as well. Improves blood flow. Again, natural aphrodisiac. It's full of fulvic acid, which obviously helps with sexual performance as well. Again, erection quality. Cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper is great for blood flow and vascular regulation. Going to improve blood flow down there. So again, helps to maintain erection. Then we've got beetroot, full of nitric oxide, as I've said. Beetroot powder or eaten beetroot, another great one. What else have we got? Okay, cool. Moving on, there's loads I could talk about, but what would just come to my mind is, I'm doing all this off top of the dome, there's no script, is natural herbs that you can use as well. Now, again, these are part of some of the protocols that I use to keep my testosterone levels really high. Naturally, I would cycle these on and off, as well as obviously a good lifestyle, good diet, but you can use testosterone, naturally improves your testosterone levels, really good one. Then you've got Tonkatali, another one that helps to boost testosterone levels. You've got Cistanche and Fedosia agressis. They're like 4 powerful herbs that you can use alone outside of Shilajit that are gonna improve your testosterone levels massively. I mean, I can talk about things like sea moss, which also are full of an array of minerals that are going to help regulate all your hormones and all your bodily functions. That's just going to be like an insurance on top of everything else. But I mean, I think I give you some nuggies there, Anna. I think you're good to go. Sexual performance, muscle building, lifestyle improvements, and obviously symptoms you need to look out for to have low testosterone levels. So the underlying message and the underlying thing you want to make sure you're doing out of all this, if anything, guys, speak out, man. Don't just sit there in silence. You know, get some help. 2, more than 1 thumb up. 2, lower your body fat. Get yourself in the gym, start weight training. Get in some sort of combat as well. It'll make a big difference. And sort your food out. Stop eating junk food. Stop eating shit. Put the beers down a little bit, because that mashes you up. Also affects your sex drive and your performance. You might think, oh, I'll last a bit longer having a few beers. You're doing yourself in. I'm not saying don't enjoy a few beers here and there, but like, your health's important. Get that in check first, and then start looking at introducing vices. The health is the most important thing. And if you're getting older, it's not getting any better. You know what I mean? And outside of that, get plenty of sun, get some vitamin D.